Director, Chamber, and all business leaders. It is a profound honor to be amongst you and to speak to so many business people who are here. I wish to thank His Majesty, King Felipe IV, but also the government of Spain and the business community for their warm hospitality extended to the South African delegation on this visit. I will be, after this, having lunch with the King, and my delegation had hoped that they would also have lunch with the King, but the King said, only me. And then I asked, will the Queen be there? They said, since you didn't bring your own Queen, she will not be there. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Please forgive me for not speaking.
Hi guys, thank you for watching my video. Please make sure that you like my video and you subscribe.
In Spanish rather, I'll address you in English. I only speak Spanish on Thursdays. So those who met me yesterday, and I met a number of business people, some of them are here. I haven't seen any one of them. They would have, yes, you were there. You had my Spanish, didn't you? So forgive me for speaking to you in English. Our visit here is a very special visit, and it reflects the strength of our long-standing relationship and partnership between our two countries, but it also reflects our shared commitment to building a modern, dynamic, and mutually beneficial economic relationship. We have a very strong political relationship, very, very functional diplomatic relationship with your country and the leaders of your country. And the two ministers who spoke now also have a very special relationship because they were both mayors. You know, when mayors finish their jobs, they always look for other areas where they can work. And now they are both in trade, industry, and tourism. So we have a special relationship, and Spain is valued as a partner in South Africa. Our relationship is built on what I would call shared values and a common belief in inclusive growth, industrial development, investment, and sustainable development. That is the cement that binds the relationship between our two countries. Today, we meet not only to celebrate our partnership, our past relations, but to shape a new chapter of our relationship. And our relationship has always been underpinned by what I would call by trade, and trade has always been present in the way that we have related with each other, and it's been layered by history, not always direct or dominant, but deeply tied to the old maritime roots, which still exists. Empire as well. There were times when there was empire, and it is also underpinned by the various products that we trade with between us: minerals, agriculture, and now, in this day and age, modern investment flows. In 2025, trade between South Africa and Spain reached approximately 2.8 billion euros. South Africa's exports to Spain reached 1.3 billion euros, a 10% increase over the previous year. Now, this makes Spain our fastest growing major trading partner within the European Union. Our countries do not compete. However, I must say that I was pained when I heard about a dispute between our producers of citrus in the world. And a dispute arose between us where we seemed to be competing to the death. Now I'm going to be talking to President Sanchez later tomorrow, and I will say that the dispute that's been declared in the EU should be settled, and it should be settled between South Africa and Spain. We cannot be seen as such wonderful partners to be fighting to the death over what we can cooperate in. So I want South Africa and Spain to cooperate and to compete in a most wonderful and friendly manner. So that is the message that I'll be taking to him. Now, I hope you do support me in this. Your silence is not very... In many ways, we complement each other. We demonstrate how strategic partnerships can strengthen global value chains. Now, we are fortunate in South Africa. We have over 150 Spanish companies that are currently invested and operate on South African soil. Yesterday, having met a number of your companies, I'm sorry I didn't meet all of you. Time and space did not allow that. What I was able to glean from what they were all saying is that they would want to invest even more money, bring more resources to South Africa, meaning that South Africa is a really outstanding investment destination. And through this, your companies that have invested in South Africa have been able to create jobs which we sorely need, of more than 20,000 people across various sectors, from renewable energy to infrastructure to financial services to technology, as well as tourism. Added to this is Spain's commitment of over 2.1 billion euros to South Africa's just energy transition. This is directed at green hydrogen, electric vehicles, renewable energy, and our grid infrastructure. Now, the grid infrastructure is an important project which was spoken about earlier. We have to build 14,000 kilometers of transmission lines, and Spain can participate very, very strongly in this major project that is going to be launched in South Africa. It's going to require quite a lot of capital, which we don't really have, but we want to rely on the technological prowess of various companies, friendly companies. We also want to rely on the investment that can flow into South Africa, because we're going to need 450 billion rand of investment to expand our grid by 14,000 kilometers. This is a statement of confidence, not merely in our economy, but in our future. Even though our trade relationship is strong, it remains structurally imbalanced at the moment. It is concentrated in a narrow range of products, and we need to expand those. Motor vehicles for transport of goods account for nearly half of South Africa's exports to Spain. Such concentration creates a great deal of vulnerability. If we are to strengthen this relationship, and if we are to make it sustainable, we must focus on diversifying the areas in which we trade with each other. South Africa holds the world's largest reserves of platinum group metals. Now, these critical metals sit at the heart of hydrogen fuel cell technology, clean energy systems, and the future of electric mobility. At the same time, Spain is rapidly positioning itself as one of Europe's leading players in hydrogen economy. This creates a great opportunity for an alignment of our strengths. Relying on the strengths that we both have, we could utilize this as a great channel of trading better with each other. South Africa brings the resources. Spain brings the technological capability. It also brings investment and market access. South Africa brings talented workers who are hard workers and who are committed. Together, this creates the foundation for a new kind of partnership, a collaboration across the value chains of the future, value chains that we must rely on, and value chains that we must also continue improving. Spain has demonstrated global leadership in economic sectors where South Africa has its most urgent and growing needs. Now, in renewable energy, Spain ranks amongst the top 5 countries in the world. In water management and desalination, it is the leading country in Europe using technologies that South Africa needs as it confronts growing water stress. As many of you know, we are a water-stressed country, possibly one of the few water-stressed countries in the world. In infrastructure, hydrogen, and tourism, Spain sets standards that the world just follows. I was amazed to hear about the tourists that you attract to your country on an annual basis. And you can share those tourists. You can share those tourists and divert quite a number of them to South Africa. South Africa, in turn, offers a sophisticated industrial base. It offers abundant natural resources and world-class financial institutions. Your financial institutions and your banks and investment firms are world-class, but so are ours. And they are the top class on the African continent. We offer a strategic position as the gateway into the continent, as you heard Minister Tau saying, a market of 1.4 billion people, with a combined GDP exceeding $3.4 trillion. South Africa and Spain are not just 2 countries trading goods. We are 2 economies with the potential to build value chains that serve markets far and beyond our borders. We see strong opportunities to grow South African exports to Spain and to the broader European market in several areas. And these are areas where we can work together. These include agro-processing and high-value agricultural products. Your country is a leading country in agro-processing and in agriculture. They include specialty, chemicals, sustainable fuels, pharmaceuticals, and health technologies. Now, as we look to the future, we see expanding opportunities in the manifold for the export of beneficiation of critical minerals, the green industrial materials, and renewable energy inputs, and the electric vehicles and components. What we seek is a deeper industrial cooperation between our 2 countries. What we would like is expanded market access and integration into value chains that connect our productive capacity to European consumers and to the industrial markets. To take one example, South Africa's automotive industry is the largest on the African continent and well developed over many years. Now, as the world transitions to electric vehicles, the question is not whether South Africa will be part of that value chain, but whether we will be part of the raw material supplier or a manufacturing partner. We want to be the manufacturers. We also want to be the assemblers. And we look to Spanish companies to travel that road with us as partners. Spanish companies have already proven what investment in South Africa can achieve, and we applaud you for that. and we were able to express our deep gratitude to the various companies that we met yesterday, that their resilience and commitment to South Africa and to investing in South Africa is second to none. Even where at times they are facing challenges, for instance, some of them are facing challenges of the cost of energy, which we are addressing. They have remained committed, even as some of them have been making losses. But they know that the curve will turn as they continue to operate and make profits. Construction is underway on wind farms in a number of areas in our country where some of your companies are actually very, very invested, and we're grateful for that. And the investment that they are making is quite phenomenal. And in a number of other areas in the Northern Cape, there are quite a number of solar plants that are going to be commissioned. And projects like these are the cornerstone of industrial partnership between our two countries. I mean, one of the companies we met yesterday was a first-time mover as we opened up the renewable energy sector in our country. And that has attracted more and more of Spanish companies to come to South Africa, making South Africa the poster country on the African continent for renewable energy. And we say thanks to Spain for having taken the lead where others have followed, and that they've continued to stay with us and to invest more and more money. South Africa offers policy certainty and strong institutions. Yes, there may well have been moments where policy certainty wobbled a little bit, but we can confirm now that there is policy certainty, and we continue to improve the policies that we are putting out there for the private sector to participate with greater confidence. We offer a diversified industrial economy, a sophisticated banking system, as you heard, and a robust legal framework, and deep experience in managing complex industrial projects. We are implementing reforms as we speak now to improve our logistics sector, to strengthen our electricity system, and to create a more competitive business environment. And on our electricity system, we have taken steps to assist some of those companies that would have seen either the closure of either their smelters and others, and we are now going to start focusing on the others who are also facing hardships. So we are proactive, and we are also responsive. And we actually welcome the opportunity that companies have to come to us to have discussions with us, rather than just picking up and leaving as they face challenges. We're making it easier for companies to invest in our country, easier to trade, and easier to grow. We are an emerging market, and as an emerging market, we do have to improve on a number of areas. But we welcome those companies that want to walk the journey with us. And as you walk the journey with us, as we improve and as we learn from others are doing, we improve better and we grow together. As we expand trade, we must ensure that the rules governing global commerce are fair and they support development. South Africa supports climate action. We are committed to the just transition towards a low-carbon economy. But new regulatory frameworks, including the EU Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, must not become instruments that inadvertently punish emerging economies for emissions they did not historically cause. Now, we often think that some of the rules and regulations that are being put in place that negatively affect even our countries that did not have any responsibility in the damage that has been caused to the climate. And we say that needs to be taken into account. And we are not opposed to the principle of carbon accountability. What we ask is that climate measures be accompanied by the necessary climate finance, the technology transfer, and the transitional arrangements that need to be put in place, that the Paris Agreement and the successive COP commitments have promised. Now we look to Spain to champion a just and equitable approach within the EU institutions. This business forum for us is about practical outcomes. Alongside the engagements we are having with the Spanish business, we present a high-impact pipeline of some 85 investment projects that are valued at 62 billion euros. Through our investment promotion agency, which we call Invest SA, these opportunities have been developed into well-structured investment-ready projects designed for partnership and also for phased implementation. These projects span energy transition, infrastructure, green industrialization, critical minerals, beneficiation of minerals, agro-industrial value chains, sustainable fuels, digital connectivity, as well as pharmaceutical manufacturing. They are underpinned by clear policy frameworks, targeted investment incentives, and dedicated one-stop facilitation mechanisms to ease implementation. And this demonstrates our seriousness when it comes to the economic relations that we want to foster between our two countries. We invite Spanish capital, technology, and industrial expertise to partner with us in advancing these projects and building integrated value chains between the two economies. Our message to every Spanish company, therefore, in this room is that South Africa is indeed open for business. We are the largest economy on the African continent, the most industrialized country in Africa, and we are truly the gateway into the African continent. And we don't say this in a boasting manner. We say this because we are a key enabler for companies that want to surge into the African continent, and we do so under the aegis of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, where we also cooperate with our fellow sister African countries on a mutually beneficial manner, and where we also advance the interests of our own continent. So we invite you to partner with us, not only as investors, but as long-term industrial partners. And we are eternally grateful that a number of your companies have been in South Africa for a very long time. Now, you are co-builders with us, and we want you to be co-builders with us in various industries that will serve the growth of our country and advance the interests of our people. We do have an opportunity to connect European technological strength with African growth. We have an opportunity to build supply chains that are resilient, sustainable, as well as inclusive. But more importantly, we have an opportunity to create prosperity, a prosperity that is genuinely shared in Madrid, as it is in Johannesburg, in Seville, as it is in Durban, in the farming towns of Andalusia, and in the mining communities of Limpopo. I suggest that we leave this forum with a shared commitment to turn dialogue that you're going to have today into meaningful action. We should harness, in the end, our respective strengths and capabilities to build a partnership of the future. What we do appreciate in dealing with Spanish companies and the Spanish government is that we deal with each other with deep respect. We deal with each other with deep consideration for what we both have. Not disrespectful, not trying to drive others to lose while others win. You are a bigger economy than ours, and we respect that, and we want a mutually beneficial relationship. So I thank you. Now, if it was on a Saturday, you would have listened to my speech in Spanish. So, but I thank you that you were able to listen to it today in English. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's been an honor to have you here. And now we're just remaining seated for a bit until the authorities come with you to say farewell. And thank you very much for coming. I assume you're leaving. Thank you.